Our gallant President Biden says that these leaks of top classified documents from the Pentagon. Do you know what the Pentagon is? The Pentagon is the place where they make war, where they defend our country, our democracy. That's what they've been telling us the last few years. You gotta defend the democracy. He says the release on the internet, the World Wide Web, the internet. The release of these documents on the internet is no big deal. But then he says that he thanks our our FBI and intelligence people for them people. He thanks them for keeping our nation safe. He thanks them for keeping our national defense safe. Isn't that something? Isn't that something? Sorry, that was my son closing the door. But I tell you, we are living in a banana republic. I am ex-military myself. 4 years in the Army. Proud of my service. Proud of, our country. I'm a patriot. So I was once like this kid at one time, right? A little snot-nosed kid in the military. But I was a patriot. Even though we have something in common. This is the kid right here. And we're going to play some videos, some news reports and things of that nature. But this is the kid right here. Look at this little snot-nosed kid. I was never that though. I was never that. I was a lot more buttoned up. Of course, this is a different time, but I was a lot more buttoned up. This was 1996. Even if we had social media, I wouldn't be on social media doing that. Different time, I know. And that's the problem. That's the problem. Because my first thought is, how does a 21-year-old kid has access to classified documents? Didn't this fool you when you first heard it? Because when I first heard the reports, first of all, I said, they're gonna never catch this guy. They're gonna never catch the person who did this, because, hold on for a minute. They never caught the person who released, in our democracy, we gotta defend the democracy. They never caught the person who leaked the first ever leak of a Supreme Court. Come on now. They never caught that person. Okay. Apples to orange, apples to apples, apples to oranges. Not too different. Very, very important. We're talking about the rights of our citizens, right? The rights of our citizens. Very, very important thing here. We're talking about the ability of our judges to deliberately go through a process and to be safe for that matter. Okay. So I thought, after all of these government officials that are getting away with crimes, high crimes, Hillary Clinton, Joe Biden, very likely from all the information that we have, Hunter Biden, this one-sided justice that we have, all the leaks that happened in the Trump administration. Nobody ever found anyone doing anything in the Trump administration. Okay? All of these things are going on, and we seem to have one-sided justice. So I thought that they would never find the guy. You know why? Because I thought the guy was a part of the deep state. I thought this guy was a 35 to 40-year-old or older person who was doing some dirt in the deep state, that was trying to get Trump, that was, trying to get anyone that was associated with Trump and lock him up and throw away the key. That's what I thought he was. But this is who he was, a 21-year-old guy. And I'm going to tell you how alike I was, even though I'm so unlike this person. Today, the FBI took down a 21-year-old Douglas Teixeira into custody without incident. and is resident in North Denton, Massachusetts. Let's see here. Where's the information that I'm looking for? Because I read this article already. But it says that he is. Here it is. So some members of the. Okay, so this guy was a part of an intelligence club online, basically. He was the oldest person in this little intelligence club, right? Okay. So, listen to this. Some members of the Thug Shake Central Group defended Teixeira, arguing that the young guardsman only posted the materials to the group in an attempt to spark discussion and keep friends informed. This guy was a Christian anti-war, just wanted to inform some of his friends about what's going on. A 17-year-old member of the group told the New York Times, "We have some people in our group who are in Ukraine. We are fighting games. We like fighting games. We like war games." Okay. So what I couldn't understand is a National Guardsman. When I first heard that it was a 21-year-old National Guardsman, I was like, a National Guardsman? Are you serious? How does a National Guardsman have access to top secret information? A 21-year-old National Guardsman, a guardsman, snot-nosed National Guardsman, right? Come on, man. At 21, you barely know how to pick your nose. And this guy has top secret that's going to put top classified access to top classified secrets from the Pentagon, no less, that will put thousands of people in danger. Thousands of people in danger. My God. So this was not what I expected. The first thing that I heard was, I saw an interview. And in the interview, and we'll see it, I think, on this one right here. Yeah, here we go. So in the interview, this guy, who's a friend of his, says, well, the person who actually, not on this clip, on another clip I heard very briefly, it might be this one. She says that the person is who the National Guardsman is in his 20s. So the immediate thing that I thought is that America, for the last 20 years of this kid's life, has been so anti-American. It has been so anti-American in the culture and anti-American in the education system that they don't understand. They don't understand what's going on in the world. They don't understand that even as a Christian, even as myself, a Christian conservative, even as myself, I'm not going to get in the way of our government decision to support Ukraine or to support any other country that it supports. I'm not going to get in the way of that. Not in the way that he did it. He doesn't even have that type of mindset. He's too young. He's too young to have access to that kind of information because he can't handle it. His mind cannot handle it. And so why does someone that young have access to that kind of information? America is turning into a banana republic because we are paying attention to the wrong things when we should be paying attention to things like this. Equity and inclusion. We gotta find the white supremacists. We gotta find, the Christian, the far right Christians, and make sure that they don't, come to school board meetings and try to stand up for their children. The military is woke. The agencies, the intelligence agency, the FBI, CIA, they're broken. They're woke. They're far left political. instead of doing their jobs. This information was on the internet for at least a month. One time I believe I heard it was been on the internet since January, and this kid released it on the internet. My goodness, since January. Let's hear.
Washington Post interview with a teenager who says he was a member of the Discord server group where the sensitive documents were first shared.
First found out these were made public. It felt like my heart was beating out of its chest. I could not believe that this was happening. We didn't realize the sheer, just immense nature of these leaks.
The minor interviewed by the Post with his mother's permission, who asked not to be identified, telling the Post he knows the identity of the leaker, who he calls OG, but will not disclose OG's real name, where he lives, or the military base where he says he works.
No snitch policy.
But describing him as a charismatic, gun-loving gamer in his early to mid-20s, and that OG began posting classified information to Discord last fall.
Oh my, last fall.
First made aware of these documents, I want to say about 6 to 8 months ago. The documents were often listed as Ukraine.
That is simply amazing. Last fall. My. So our intelligence agencies did not know that this document left the Pentagon, number one. Number two, they did not know that it was online for months. They had no idea that it was online. I mean, no one's perfect, but this is stunning. The amount of documents that he has released and the damage that it has done by a lot of experts is terrible. Now, they say that he was a Christian anti-war guy. Okay, now I was that guy before, okay? For probably different reasons, but I thought the Bible was telling me, as a young Christian, I thought the Bible was telling me that we should not go to war. Now, I changed that after I got out of the military, but that's how I felt. But I would never do anything like this. As an American patriot, I would never do anything like this. Basically, I would never disobey. I told my superiors how I felt, and they helped me with that. They put me in, kind of like in a rear part of the company and things of that nature, where I wasn't a part of anything else, and I did my job. So I understand where this kid's coming from, but this kid really messed up. It's not the way to go about it. He really messed up. And for our country to put a young kid at 21 in the position to mess up his life is totally messed up right now. And they're gonna make an example out of this kid. They're gonna make an example out of this kid when they let Joe Biden and Hunter Biden go free and Hillary Clinton go free and all these people messing around with classified information. They're gonna let them go free. And Trump, it doesn't look like he was perfect with what he did either, but of all the things that we've seen, what Trump did seems to be the lightest of them all, the less serious of them all, to be honest. Because if I wasn't honest, I wouldn't have even mentioned Trump. Okay, but this is just crazy.
Versus Russia at first. However, it slowly spiraled into just intelligence about everything.
The teenager says he joined.
The documents were often listed as Ukraine versus Russia at first. However, it slowly spiraled into just intelligence about everything.
The teenager says he joined the invite-only Discord group of roughly 24 members, some from foreign countries, at the start of the pandemic, and and told Post reporter Shane Harris he's read hundreds of classified documents posted by the group's leader.
This individual OG was apparently sharing this classified information, which was illegal after all, and he appeared to understand that, to prove a point, to prove that he could, to impress the people around him.
So people like him, oh yeah, he was sharing this information which was illegal. Just like, again, how many other people in our government has done stuff like this? And they got raises and they got promotions, or they just got put in another part of the government. Hillary Clinton was almost president. And so you can't have two forms of justice. It should be one form of justice for everybody.
Kind of almost like an ego trip. He wasn't acting as a whistleblower. He was trying to impress his friends. He appeared to think that they needed to know things that ordinary people didn't. That he enjoyed telling them about secrets and things that he knew that ordinary people did not.
That information eventually making its way to other Discord groups with thousands of users, causing a global diplomatic fallout since becoming public, revealing what appears to be sensitive U.S. intelligence, and notably sparking accusations this was an operation to impact the war in Ukraine, something the members denied.
He was just saying that this may be the last he ever sees of us, and he was thanking us for all the good times that we had together and hoping that everything would blow over.
According to the Post, it's unlikely the leaker intended the information to spread further.
Okay, so this is not what a lot of us probably thought it was, but it still shows that America had a lot of problems that we have to get a hold of. This was actually pretty innocent, actually. From what we can tell so far, this was actually pretty innocent. There were no foreign players. That's great. There were no. But again, the handling of top secret information. What is going on in America? What is going on in America? Why is it top secret for you? You have some people who are saying, your Tucker Carlson, which I love, but I don't agree with him all the time. We have overclassification. And he's not the only one who have said that. There's people in the government who have said that. We have a lot of documents that are called classified, but they should not be classified. And I agree with that, because when you get the information out, that should be out, right? But the thing is that if it's classified, it needs to stay classified. And if people are mishandling classified documents, they need to be dealt with. And so we have to come to a place in our country where we do not put people in positions that they should not be in position to. As our President Joe Biden should not be president, dealing with China when him and his family have obvious problems with China and Russia. And they should not be in the place where they are doing American business. When you try to pin the Russia thing on Trump, and you could never pin it on him. And we need people who are in places of power that need to be there. And we need to make sure that we put up all of the roadblocks, all of the roadblocks that need to be up, all of the guardrails, that need to be up to make sure that things like this never happen. Let's see. So what do you think? Do you think that this is a big deal or not? Are you thinking like Joe Biden that this is no big deal, or do you think that this is a big deal? And what do you think should happen to this 21-year-old kid who released all of this information on the internet? Well, thank you for listening and watching. Have a great day. Please like, subscribe, and share. Have a great day. Bye-bye.